whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.
Ho, ho, ho. This is your legal Santa, Gavin Richard, wishing you all a very Merry Christmas and a safe and prosperous New Year. The law offices of Gavin M. Richard, going the distance so that justice may be served. Hi, I'm attorney Gavin M. Richard. Check out my latest book, The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. For approximately 2 years now, I have gone on a painstaking quest to investigate the rise and fall of an American icon, Bill Cosby. In the mid-1980s, there was not a star that was higher than Cosby. Advertisements with Coca-Cola, Jello, Kodak, along with the #1 television show for 5 straight years in a row. On Thursday nights, it was must-see TV on NBC. Cosby resurrected the genre of the traditional family sitcom that was once thought dead by television critics. He did this as a Black American with an all-Black cast and showed mainstream network executives in white America that it was possible to be successful without showing the worst in people. He also demonstrated the power that television had, as it can make younger people dream to be the best that they can be. However, like many celebrity stars, unfortunately, they all come crashing down, sometimes by their own fault, others not so much. In this book, I attempted to highlight certain things. We go in depth into both of his trials in 2017 and 2018, respectively. What if I told you that these criminal trials were politically motivated by an overzealous district attorney? Will you also be shocked to learn the attacks on Mr. Cosby did not start in 2014, but also in the 90s, not long after his attempted quest to purchase a major network? From where did all of these allegations of sexual misconduct come from? Were the accusers telling the truth? In the 2 years of research, with some help from others interested in learning the truth and facts about this case, we discussed both the legal reasons why his prosecution and trial were illegal, unwarranted, and also the possible personal motives as to why this may have occurred. Most importantly, we warn about the dangers of prejudice and why trial by social media, or mainstream media rather, should never be the norm. All this and more in The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. Available on Amazon this fall in Kindle and paperback format.
whoever you are, wherever you are. I hope you are blessed and doing safe. On today's broadcast in this new year of Gavin Richard Presents, it is Random Topic Sundays, ladies and gentlemen. We will be discussing the following, but first, I'd like for you all to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Also, if you would like the content in this channel, please go ahead and go to Gavin Richard Esquire, the Google at the Cash App, as well as the Google Pay and PayPal or Zelle, and donate to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, it is tax deductible since it's a gift. We will be discussing the following. Rest in peace, Max Julien, and to Betty White. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we will be discussing the anniversary of the Capitol riots that took place in Washington, D.C. just a year ago. That is one topic we'll be discussing. And also something that was interesting, the deaths of these various IG models. I don't know if anyone has seen this, but we've had various Instagram models who have died in mysterious circumstances, whether it's via murder or just some situation we don't know. It's not officially being charged as murder, homicide in some cases, but we'll be discussing that, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Also, shout out to Danielle Meyer and King BJ, Brother Bernard, ladies and gentlemen. And check out, as my brother Darius from Atlanta said, Nawny'sCreoleBlends.com. That is a website for our Creole seasoning blend, Nawny's Creole's Blends, CreoleBlends.com. We'll go here. If you look to the screen, you can purchase some Nawny's Creole seasoning. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish, ladies and gentlemen. Nawny's goes great with every dish. You got to finish, and some people I've noticed to go there, you got to go to the icon where it's you hit order, where you see the shopping cart, and you got to go to fruition with it. Otherwise, it's just an empty, or really a shopping cart. It's not checked out yet. For those that have had issues and say, well, I ordered and I didn't get it. Well, I've saw a couple that were like that. So the other thing I want to tell you all, if you would, of course, you can go ahead and download and check out our songs. Of course, we have Video Soul, which debuted last year. And also we have our theme song for, as always, Gotta Get On Up. Now, if you all love this channel, I'd ask you all to please go to Spotify. You can see Video Soul here and Gotta Get On Up, which is all done by me. And you hit that like, share, and subscribe. You order, you listen to it. You can download it on Apple and Spotify as well. So go ahead and please do so, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get started into the new year in just a second.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, because on the dance floor is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the
Now, 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so, if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up
And move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up,
Baby, yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up. Baby.
feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
What's up, family? How is everybody doing on this Sunday afternoon? Good day to you all. I wanted to get this show started and get this early because I had some stuff I wanted to do and catch up on. And I know if I started it late, I'd be so damn tired, too tired to do this. I also know I'd be competing against Tariq and uh, Tariq and the Black Channel. And not to say that I'm not capable of doing it, but I just figured it'd be good to start early and get more people in. Shout out to everybody from Kid Gravity, Danielle Mayer. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year, Black Voltron. To you, Derek, a bunch of other people. We've had in Louisiana, and Danielle, you can attest to this, a muggy New Year's and Christmas. It was just outright miserable, just hot. And as of right now, the weather is changing, hence I'm wearing a sweater. The weather is actually, the temperature is dropping practically every minute. We were talking about being in the 70s earlier this morning. Right now we're in the low 50s. So it's going to continue to drop and drop and drop. And so unfortunately we didn't get it for New Year's Day or Christmas. But yeah, this is something else, man. But let's go ahead and get started. Hope you guys have the great New Year's. Tomorrow, of course, we go back to work. Like some of you all do go back to work. But we're going to start it off with our first news of the day. Rest in peace to Max Julien and Betty White. Now, of course, on New Year's Eve, we learned that, and most people learned that Betty White, the star of the Golden Girls, as well as one of the stars of the Mary Tyler Moore Show, depending on which age group you were in. But I knew Betty White from Golden Girls primarily. That's where she's from. She died peacefully in her sleep on on New Year's Eve, Friday, at the age of 99, just 2.5 weeks before her 100th birthday. January 17th was actually going to be her centennial year, and she was actually going to have a birthday party with everyone participating. So her agent confirmed that the comedian died on Friday in her sleep peacefully early that morning. Her agent was Jeff Wichjaws. Wichjaw said, even though Betty was about to be 100, I thought she would live forever. I will miss her terribly, and so will the animal world that she loved so much. I don't think Betty ever feared passing. because she always wanted to be with her most beloved husband, Alan London. She believed she would be with him again. White was gearing up to celebrate her 100th birthday on January 17th, as I pointed out earlier. And from what it looks like, she wasn't even thinking of death, because if she was planning for her birthday party, she was obviously very excited about that. But I've seen some people and some people on Twitter that were talking about this, especially some black Twitter users, like, when was Betty White ever a soldier? What is all this caping for Betty White? And let me say this: I hate it. I hate seeing any person pass away. Uh, well, depending on who that person is, I don't wish death on anyone. She lived to be 99 years old, and that is a blessing. My great grandmother would have been 100 had she not died like 2, 3 weeks before her 100th birthday. She was 99 years old. Grams, my grandfather's mother, I remember she lived. She died when I was about 10 years. Yeah, about 10 years old. And I was really surprised at her passing, because she was a woman who, very thin woman, liked to drink her highball, liked to drink her beer, never really smoked, never saw her do anything like that. She was a good woman. And Grams used to watch me even as a kid from time to time. If my folks had to go with my brother somewhere, they would go watch. She would come to the house. I remember her coming to our house with us, staying with us for a little while. While I think I might have been in the hospital and needed her to watch my brother, vice versa, for birthday parties, Christmas. So, and she had at that time 2 children that were in their 70s. So there have been people who've been blessed to see 100 years old. But then, of course, if Betty White died, and so everybody was upset when Betty White died. They loved the Golden Girls, and when you say that, you don't mess with the Golden Girls. Now, of course, she was also on shows like Hot in Cleveland. Uh, you know, her co-stars, including Valerie Bertinelli, stated, "Rest in peace, sweet Betty. My God, how bright heaven must be right now." Andy Cohen wrote, "Tonight we will raise many glasses to the wonderful legacy of Betty White." Uh, something very interesting too about her, she has a tie with New Orleans. You had a lot of animals that were abandoned during Katrina. And something that she did do, my understanding, was that she actually adopted or took care of some of these animals, found homes for them. Uh, she was actually very active in that, animal rights movement and animal charities during, especially back in 2005. She actually paid to evacuate animals from Audubon Aquarium after Katrina. I just wish they had some celebrities that were willing to evacuate many of those people after Katrina as well. Those black people, poor people that we saw. That were stuck and stranded on rooftops, couldn't find anywhere else to go. Black Mama said, "Not me. She lived a long, good life, not upset at all. I'm upset about the black lives that have been cut short or allowed to live alone in misery." That's what I think about. The point I'm making, Black Mama, is that you saw a lot of, there were some people complaining, like, why are we caping for Betty White? She was a white. That's the point I'm making that I saw. I'm just saying, look, she was a celebrity. People loved her, white and black, and uh, Asian, Hispanic, whether your sexual people's sexual orientation was. She was apparently an icon in that, uh, in that community as well, to those people and to other people around the world, just because she was a pop culture icon. You know, now sadly she passed on New Year's Eve, but then on New Year's Day, and our New Year's didn't start. The New Year's didn't start right, but that happens to us all. It's part of life. What can you do uh, when the bill is due at the front desk of the hotel? They hand you the receipt with the bill, saying you got to pay for this. Nothing you can do. You got to pay it, but you have their legacy in life to live up to. Now, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, on January 1st, we lost the legend in brother Max up in your area, neck of the woods, Black Voltron and Black Mama, the one and only Max Julien. Now, of course, Max Julien, most people know as Goldie from the Mac. Now, that was a hit movie, a movie that was made back in 1973 that starred Max Julien, but also starred Richard Pryor and Gregory Anthony Williams. And in fact, I actually have the Mac on DVD. We used to watch it all the time. And I believe this was produced by Harvey Bernhard. I believe that's the same guy who produced The Omen, if I'm not mistaken. Was directed by Michael Campus for Cinerama releasing, as you see right there. But this film is still a classic in a lot of people's eyes. I haven't watched it in a long time. Honestly, it doesn't come on uh, often. I don't see any advertisement for it, but I still have the DVD for it. So it had a killer soundtrack to a guy by the name of Willie Hutch who directed. I'm sorry, who did the Brothers Gonna Work. He did the song Brothers Gonna Work It Out, which has been sampled recently with I think Permission. Rio James did that song. Yeah, it's sampled from that. Willie Hutch, by the way, who passed away in 2005, he was the co-writer of the Jacksons' "I'll Be There." He also did the soundtrack for The Last Dragon, Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon, which was a hit. But I remember the soundtrack for the Mac, which was good, and he was part of all of that. But Max Julien was 88 years old. I'm trying to get more details on him, but 40 years after the Mac premiered, director Michael Campus finally remembered opening the movie where it was shot in Oakland. The groundbreaking film has retained a loyal following and influenced artists such as Jadakiss, Tupac, Too Short, Jay-Z, and Quentin Tarantino. The first scene came on with Richie and Max, and I'm not exaggerating. The whole audience stood up and started screaming at the back at the screen. He said back in 2013. They never sat down. No one had shown that world. No one had portrayed the black underworld. Yeah, stick yourself. Stick yourself, nigga. Stick yourself. Julien was a lot of people don't know this too, but Max Julien was also an author, sculptor, and fashion designer. He is survived by his wife, Arabella Chavers Julien. He was previously in a relationship, I know, at one time in the 70s with Vanetta McGee, who was his partner. And they played a pair of robbers, Robin-esque outlaws in the Wild Wild West in a movie called Thomasine and Bushrod. He also was in Cleopatra Jones. But Julien was also uh, the writer and producer of those two films. Now, I had seen him uh, as in the movie How to Be a Player, Def Jam's How to Be a Player, which was a hit film. And that was in 1997 with Bill Bellamy. And that was my first taste of Max Julien, what I knew of him then. I was learning something also in regards to Max Julien. He was the one that lobbied to get Richard Pryor in that movie, The Mac. There were talks about Richard being difficult to work with. And Max Davis said, and Max Julien persuaded the producers of the Mac. If you go and look at the Mac documentary, it might be on it was on the DVD for sure, because that's where I actually saw it. But he talked about it, and said how he allowed it to get Richard Pryor in the movie. Matter of fact, uh, the movie, I guess the movie's on DVD, but this is the actual. Let me hold up a second, guys. I actually got the link here. So YouTube has the documentary for the Mac on here. I won't play all of it or anything like that. I don't want copyright issues, as you all they probably know they like to do and find their little crap to get me kicked off here. But put that copyright strike up. Let me see if I can just play a little bit of it.
You're gonna have a bankroll so big, when you walk down the street, it's gonna look like your pockets got them lumps. You see, pimping's big business, and it's been going on since the beginning of time.
You don't know nothing about that. Everything you need to know, you got to get from me. On it.
Mac is a film that we did about a particular code called the pimping game. We took a slice of life and we presented it as realistic as we could. The film came about because a guy named Bobby Poole had a treatment that he took to Harvey Bernhardt about a guy who gets out of prison and it starts, pimping women.
The Mac really started with Bobby Poole writing on toilet paper in prison.
I used to lie in that stinky ass 4x5 cell looking at those dark walls.
I went to meet Harvey, who was this strong, forceful, interesting guy who said to me, "We got to make this movie."
I was intrigued with the idea of how a guy can control a bitch's mind. That's what they call it.
I just can't get it in my head how a bitch can walk the street every night.
I couldn't comprehend it. Max Julien just fell right into the role. I know he made sense to me.
At that period, I was writing and co-producing Cleopatra Jones. And they called me in, and Harvey Bernhardt said, you can write it, you can bring in whoever you want to bring in, and I'll give you final say-so on whoever is cast in the film. And I said, great. Then I went up and I sat and we talked to Michael, and I realized he was a sweet human being and also a political human being. And Michael and I sat down and I said, what we're going to do is put this thing together, and we're going to make some political statement. That's what Michael and I set out to do.
Black Oakland was a war zone. There's incredible unemployment.
It was volatile. People were being shot on the street. That's the climate that we had to face.
We wanted the film to be a statement that America is never going to be whole and complete and healed unless people recognize the condition of Black people in America. I had really started in the documentary world, and my background in documentaries really affected what I did with the Mac. I said, I gotta go there, Harvey. I gotta be there. He seemed put back by that a little bit, what do you have to do that? Bobby Poole's draft, which was very interesting, just gave us a sense of what was there. It didn't give us a complete picture. I've got to get up there. I've got to see the reality and find out what the real story is.
Next time you hear grown folks talking, you shut the fuck up.
And I said, we got to meet the Ward brothers. We got to meet Frank Ward. Ward brothers were four brothers, Black brothers, who really ran underground Oakland. In a way, I think they really ran Oakland. When I met Frank Ward, then I knew that the picture had to be me. I mean, Frank Ward changed my life. And I think changed all our lives in many ways.
Frank Ward! He was a marvelous guy. He could have done anything he wanted.
If you walk in right now, you have to like him. He was this great, strapping, beautiful-looking guy, and you could feel his power. But he was a criminal, a serious criminal.
The real question was, were the Ward brothers going to back us? And why should they? I mean, we weren't anybody. We were this dawn patrol, this strange group of people coming from Hollywood. He said, what's in it for me? I said, well, I'm not the producer. I'm not the money person. I'm the director. My job is to get... And he said, oh, you don't understand. What's in it for me? And I said, well, I'm sure we can work that out, but immediately I think you got to be in the film. I saw in Frank's mind that he was the Mac. That maybe this film was really going to be about him. Okay, my man, let's understand one thing. I take you in my world, you take me in yours.
Wow.
I show you what I do, you show me what you do. Frank opened up all the doors so I could go anywhere. There was so much material that I was getting from Frank, and from Frank's permission, it was incredible. It was electric. You could feel the energy in the streets. You could feel the danger. You could see the potential of the movie. I went back to Los Angeles to meet with Max Julien and Richard Pryor.
And Richard's fine.
Harvey, I told him I wanted to bring in Richard Pryor.
So
He said,
this
no,
is
no,
it
no,
here.
Richard Pryor's too crazy. Oh, man. You know, Richard been beating up people at that time. He said, oh, you can't bring in Richard Pryor. No, 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 he's a maniac. I said, I promise you I'll be responsible for him. That's the only reason he hired Richard.
We would sit with Richard Pryor, who was tremendously helpful in the script. We wrote the last 5 drafts of the script, basically, Max and Richard and myself.
It's about a human being who got out of jail and was trying to figure his options in life. And he thinks, aha, because he's bright, and he thinks, this is the way I can get out. So here's a film that allows you to take that trip with this human being who says, if I got to be a pimp to do it, I will be a pimp to do it.
That's the scene from that famous line.
Is distinct in spearheading the subgenre of pimping.
Goldie, I need a man. I need somebody in my corner, man.
Pimp with flashy clothes and all of that is, in fact, a celebrated character in the black community.
A black guy make a lot of money off a woman who's selling her ass.
I want you to get yourself together and get back out there and get me my money.
Controlling their mind.
I remember that. Get me
be
my
everything
money.
to you. I'm going to be your father. I'm going to be your friend. I'm going to be your lover.
A pimp was like an intellectual because it's all about using your mouth for persuasion.
Anybody can control a woman's body. See, but the key is to control her mind.
See, a real pimp.
The key is to control the mind. Man, I can't play. I wish I could play all of it. We got to get to other topics, y'all. But I just want to share a little bit of that. So the Mac. Yeah, and that's interesting hearing about Oakland and the history. That was the people that were responsible for it. Black Voltron said the Ward brothers were the real inspiration for the Mac. Yeah, a lot of black, what you were saying earlier. I think it was Vulcan 205 that said this, and this is true. And I talked about this. It was the black exploitation era that actually saved Hollywood, because in that time back in the 70s, many of the studios were getting bought up by other corporations in the late 60s and 70s, like Paramount Pictures. It's owned by Gulf and Western. I believe 20th Century Fox. They didn't remain. They didn't remain private. I think MGM. All of them had issues. Warner Brothers included, and they were taking a hit because television had taken over. People were staying at home mostly. And so they saw their revenues deplete. But when you had obviously television show, people like Melvin Van Peebles, people like Gordon Parks and Ozzie Davis, these wave of black directors and writers and screenwriters, they wanted to portray something different on the big screen and show African Americans in a new light. And the Mac allowed that to happen. I know some people may not like the idea of, well, he's a pimp and so forth, but I enjoyed the movie because there were other things in there. For instance, in the film, you saw, while that happened, you did see, he was a pimp. You did see how his brother, Goldie's brother, came to his aid, especially when the corrupt cops were trying to exploit him and then admitted to killing his mother. I thought it was funny when when Goldie actually got to when Goldie and Richard Pryor's character were killed the mafia boss, and Richard Pryor had the accordion with the gun in it. Hey man, you got it like he didn't fucking want you right on. I thought that was funny. Yeah, it did hurt to lose Max Julien, man. But yeah, Oakland was wide known for pimping and dope game. Also during this time, the Black Panthers were still real strong with their power influence. Yeah, most definitely. That's 1973, 1972. Yeah, O-Town. But rest in peace rest in power to Max Julien, and rest in peace, Betty White. You will be well missed and you are well loved. Rest wherever you are. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is this insurrection at the Capitol anniversary. Now, not that there is an actual anniversary or cake or balloons coming out for that, although I wouldn't be surprised if somebody would do that. But I wanted to talk about this because this Thursday will mark the anniversary 1 year of what they call the insurrection that took place at the Capitol. Now, you all recall, and I have this here, this is from Revolt. Talked about this. We did a whole show. I did a show with Sean James and Reverend Clenard Childress. In fact, this was one of my top 10 topics of uh, 2021. The FBI back in January of last year were under the impression that the Capitol insurrection that occurred may have been encouraged by select Capitol police and staffers from within that building. Apparently, TMZ published a report citing sources within the FBI say that they are examining numerous clues that could prove that some Capitol police and building staffers may have assisted the rioters in their mission to spread chaos through the U.S. Capitol. Now, this was a video, I remember sharing this.
Police are squabbling with protesters. Oh, there we go.
Now, you saw the protesters coming in.
And they just reached the Capitol again.
Now, that was when I had showed that video. Now, I remember talking to, and I know she's a conservative, Miss Angela Stanton King. I remember watching her interview actually with Boyce Watkins, and she talked about being there at the Capitol. And what I heard were two different sides. I heard, and not so much from her, but what she was describing happened, how you had the people who were protesting, who were claiming they were there protesting peacefully, which I think there were some people who were doing that. I do believe that some people showed up to the Capitol to protest nonviolently and voiced their concerns about what they thought, although whether it was true or not, was a fraudulent election. That's their belief. Now, they also talked about, and she mentioned how, and I heard other people say this, how at this rally, they saw on the other side near the Capitol a whole stack, someone bringing in like a stack of bricks, a stack of bricks and stones or whatever it was. I believe it was just bricks that they could throw. Because you got to think about this. I have seen this before, by the way. And I've heard about this when the Mike Brown, I shouldn't call it the Mike Brown riot started. And I remember a camera was passing by, I believe, in Ferguson. And somewhere near, I guess it was Auto Depot or Auto Zone, or I can't remember exactly, but I do remember seeing this. The camera's panning and seeing a whole stack of bricks on the sidewalk, like a whole pallet. Now, I've seen it happen, and it's happened before. And you guys who have been in these cities, who have been around, I'm pretty sure you've seen the same thing I saw and can recall something like that. Said Angela Stanton has no credibility. Why you say that? Because she supported Trump? Okay, I know people who, if you support Joe Biden, I could say the same thing. If you say you have no credibility, what makes her have no credibility? Exactly. Is it because she's a conservative? Well, my point is this. I've heard people say this. I've heard similar stories to what she is saying. So even if you say she has no credibility, other people are verifying that it happened. But if you're saying it because she's a Republican, or she's actually, my understanding is independent. But if she's because she just voted for Donald Trump, if because she's a conservative, I think that's the wrong reasons to say someone doesn't have credibility. I don't get caught up in this label of, well, you're a Republican, so I don't listen to a black Republican, or you're a Democrat. Because I have found, especially as I am getting older and growing, you say she lies often. Okay. Well, what did she lie about? I don't know what she lied about exactly. I'm just telling you what I saw in her interview with Boyce Watkins. Now, she was not the only one who said this. Pastor Childress, who I had, he was, I believe, he was at the DC march. He said the same thing. So, either way, the FBI is investigating it. This was also confirmed, well, not confirmed, but supported rather by some congresspersons, I believe, even Clyburn. And y'all know I don't like Jim Clyburn, but he even stated, if y'all remember, that he believed that this was an inside job as well for them to get access to the Capitol. Most people know that that Capitol, if you've been to Washington, D.C., when you get around, and I've been there, you get around near the Capitol, I've been inside the Capitol, the Rotunda, I've been inside, I've never been inside the White House, I've seen the White House, I've walked along there. Security is real tight. Security is tight. And I and it appeared from what I saw, by all accounts, somebody let them in my opinion. I don't believe that. That's why you're seeing so many people. You say people getting slapped on the wrist. If they're doing any jail time for any of these actions, of course, you have here on CNN, you had some who, according to this report, one person ready to go over what justice should look like for such an unprecedented assault on democracy. Now, this is another thing. I'm going to talk about this Thursday, but I think part of the reason too why the Democrats have taken a loss in the White House. This was, I want y'all to look at this. This is December 11th, 2021. Let me blow up the screen. I'm sorry. Let me blow up the screen for y'all. December 11th, 2021. So a whole year, you've of course had these hearings about what happened at the insurrection. You've had congresspersons speak on it. You had a whole bunch of things that have happened recently, and they kept talking about this over and over again. This is what made the Democrats year, and this is honestly what I think, in part, not just because of this, but also the mandates that have been put in place across the country, the uh, agendas that have been pushed in different states, run by these governors and mayors, and in particular these legislators, and in particular, you see what's going on right now in uh, California when they had the recall election. You had this thing going on in New York. Most people are frustrated with their government, and that's why you saw a turnout like you did. You see low voter turnouts in some areas, but in these rural areas where, for instance, in Virginia, the governor's race, you also had in Buffalo, New York, although Buffalo I know is not a rural area, when you had the socialists that were running, these white folks showed up and shut all this shit down. They shut all this Democratic shit down. Black people too, because some black people, let's be real, especially out in Buffalo, they weren't riding with that socialist. People are not these agendas that the Democrats have been pushing. Why is everything an agenda? Why is it we have people like Jim Clyburn, who has been in office for over 30 plus years? He could retire right now. He should be retired because he's 81 years old. He's past even the federal the federal law, federal employment. When you reach 65, you're supposed to be done. And yet, when Ronald Reagan was president, he was trying to lower that mandate. Meanwhile, he was damn near almost 80 when he left the White House. Just imagine if Jeff Garland would have been Justice films. Jeff Garland will actually, I'm sorry, not his name is not Jeff Garland. Jeff Garland, Jeff Garland is the guy from the Goldbergs. But remember this too. Garland was actually supposed to was Obama's pick for Supreme Court justice, and you had people complaining, well, why we didn't get the first black female justice? Why we can't get that? You weren't going to get it with him. We should have gotten another black justice to offset Clarence Thomas. Merrick Garland, yeah, I said Jeff Garland. Yeah, he got fired from the Goldbergs. I don't watch that show anyway, but yeah, you remember there was this big thing, yeah, Mr. President, and people were pushing Barack Obama. You know, we want a black female Supreme Court justice. We want a Supreme Court justice. Get a black female justice. And that didn't work. How did that work out? Everything he picked in his 8 years was gay, gay, gay. You either gay or a lesbian or you're Puerto Rican, whatever. Nothing for black folk. Nothing for black folks. So, but tying it in with this insurrection thing, yeah, people were tired of seeing the Democrats, and that's why in November you saw the bloodbath. And I think when these other elections come up, especially when it gets closer to the White House, when 2024 comes around, when it's time for the next president's race, no, he had no backbone. I honestly think you're going to have another Republican in office. Because I can tell you, I don't see Joe Biden being president, although he says it, for another 8 years, another 4 years, excuse me. I don't even see Kamala becoming president. I think a lot of people will turn out and vote against, because guess what? There are black people who are frustrated with her. She's gotten exposed, and you got people. Did y'all see this too? Hold on, let me put this up. Yeah, this was on. Okay. Someone had, this is on BNC. I don't like quoting them. But BNC had this. Kamala Harris's approval rating, they say, is higher than that of Joe Biden. According to this report, they said in a new poll released by Gallup, she has passed Joe Biden's approval rating. Gallup conducted the poll from December 1st through 2016 and showed a 44% approval rating and a 54% disapproval rating. 1% had no opinion. With Biden, Gallup showed a 43% approval rating for Biden, 51% disapproving of him, and 6% had no opinion. Now, I can tell you all guys emphatically what their plan is and what they're trying to do. They're setting this up because they want her, think she could be more presidential than Joe Biden. Complete bull. Yeah, this is disastrous. That's very funny, Boss Queenie. This presidency has, I think, is about to surpass Bush and Cheney as one of the worst, if not the worst. And I say that, yes, we are not in any war and so forth. I mean, but look, Donald Trump didn't have us in war, if I could say that. But when you have someone like Joe Biden, who honestly, I don't even know he knows where he is half the time. And that's nothing. I'm not disrespecting our senior citizens saying that they can't do things, but some jobs, let's just be real, they are too much for one man to handle, especially as they get older. And he's not really running the country. The people running the country are his cabinet members. That's why we're seeing all of this stuff. And what has happened now, I honestly believe what you saw on January 6th that took place at the Capitol, you will see this take place again in the voter booth next week. Next week is going to be, next year. When the new elections come out, when it's time for, Congress to change again, I don't see Democrats getting any more major seats. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. So next, I want to talk about this. Hit that like, share, and subscribe, guys. If you like this program, if you like what we're doing here, it's going to be a bloodbath. Oh, yeah. Now, this next topic I wanted to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, I have noticed, especially since last year, a trend of these Instagram models who have died under mysterious circumstances. People that have been shot and killed. One Instagram model, I think, was shot by her ex-boyfriend. You have this IG model, this woman here, hold on, named Tiger Booty, who was found dead in a hotel room. Apparently, she was going to a hotel flight. She flew out to Accra in Ghana to spend time with the billionaire and allegedly service him and his friends, according to reports in social media fodder. She was there to promote an event. Now, she's from Atlanta, and that's her daughter, I take it. She has her OnlyFans, almost 600,000 followers on her Instagram account. And according to an interview, with Accra-based Asas Radio, Julie Williams, who's a family spokesperson, said, "People have told us Ghanaian officials can be very corrupt." She added, "We don't trust Ghana health authorities will do a good job, so we want the autopsy done in the United States. Unfortunately, none of us is from there, and we're not sure what will happen." Now, she's not a bad-looking woman, and that's a cute kid there. Now, they're saying it's a suspected drug overdose, according to the investigators. They're out in Ghana. I don't know who the billionaire was that she went to see. They don't mention his name. They just say a local billionaire. Tiger Booty's real name is Dasani Williams. So this is one person. Then you had another Instagram model who was killed. Out in Texas, killed in a murder-suicide.
But an Instagram model with more than 2 million followers is found murdered in Richmond.
Tonight, police say they don't know or don't rather have a motive, but the suspect is dead too. Our Grace White is following the case. Her name was Miss Mercedes Moore. At least that's what she goes by on Instagram, where she has more than 2 million followers. Her real name, Janae Gagnier, now dead at 33.
We pulled in while everybody was still here. The police were here. And the people were grieving.
Neighbors at the apartment complex in Richmond on West Point Circle shocked Sunday evening to see a crime scene.
This lady did pass away, that she was killed. And really, that's all that we know.
And much about the case is still a mystery. Richmond police are the lead. All they've said so far, they believe medical examiner says was strangled to death. Found with her was 34-year-old Gavin Accordo. The ME says he died by suicide from multiple sharp force trauma.
Certainly, we're going to be praying for her family. We know that it's a tragedy for the whole community.
A tragedy where there's still no known motive. Police say her family told detectives there was no relationship between the two, but there was no forced entry. Investigators confirmed his address in Florida, leaving family and friends to wonder if she was stalked on social media. But when we asked Richmond police, told us it's all still under investigation. Grace White, KHOU, 11 News.
All right. There's an old saying that goes back to there's an old saying about all of these stories that goes back to when we were kids, and I'm wondering if you all remember what it was. Can you tell me if you're in the chat? I'm gonna see if you get it correct. What's the old saying about people you've never met? Nobody can. Stranger danger. You're correct. Never, and you're in the ballpark, Black Voltron. Yeah, but basically it is never talk to strangers. Never ever talk to strangers. Plastic everything. This is so you have two Instagram models who are very popular that have relationships with these guys. And I know this one happened, the sister Mercedes Moore, she was killed back in August. The other lady, Tiger Booty, I like that name. Tiger Booty was killed out in well, I should say killed. She died just a couple of days ago. And the point with all of this is that you have these women who go to these men's homes, so obviously gotten it up. They get in relationships with these men, or even not relationships, but I would say a financial ship. Because let's just be real. They make their money off their ass. They shake their ass. They sell their ass to, that's how they get views. If my YouTube account, if I had a YouTube account that was thirsting, if I did a YouTube account where I just showed all females, all beautiful girls and everything, not that I have a problem with it, but if I did that, my channel right now, I would have probably well over 10,000 subscribers just starting out. I would especially have nearly 1 million views by this point on my channel if I did anything like that. I never did because I wanted this channel to be for intelligent Black folks to have a conversation about stuff. And not just Black folks, but I mean, but it's geared to that. That's why I created it. Yeah, it's still under investigation. Now let me go back because this is that plastic booty got ate up. She met a real tiger. She met a real predator. Yeah, the tiger ran into an apex predator.
Incredibly tragic story here. We have learned new information that the 33-year-old social media model was strangled to death. That's according to the Fort Bend County Medical Examiner's Office. And police are also now trying to figure out a timeline of when this all may have happened, and also shared with us that they have not seen any signs of forced entry to the apartment.
The details still murky as to what led up to the horrific murder of 33-year-old Janae Gagnier, known as Miss Mercedes Moore on social media, with a following of 2.6 million.
We want to find out why her, why him.
The body of the woman was discovered Sunday afternoon inside her apartment at the Cortland Sugarland complex. According to the medical examiner, she died of strangulation and traumatic concussion in what police are investigating as a murder-suicide. A second body also found. Richmond police say it belongs to this man, 34-year-old Kevin Ocordo, who died by suicide caused by multiple sharp force trauma.
We found her check. People haven't heard from her in, a couple days.
It was the woman's family that called police asking for a welfare check on Sunday. Gagnier's father was with officers when they made the gruesome discovery.
People were asking about the relationship between her and the suspect. And at this time, we are doing some investigating on social media to determine if there is an exact cause.
And investigators would not share with us whether or not anything was taken from inside of this woman's apartment. And they also tell us that the last known address for the suspect in this case is out of Florida.
Now, you had another Instagram model. Okay, so that was still the Mercedes Moore IG model. You had another Instagram model, ladies and gentlemen, that was killed back in November. Now, this is from Yahoo News. Hold on. This is Yahoo News. I'm pasting it right now. Her name was Christy Giles. She went to get an Uber from West Hollywood the night before she died. Giles' family said she asked her friend to leave a house they were at with 3 unidentified men, but the 2 women did not get into the Uber and failed to show up. Giles, who's an actress, started LA on Friday. She was found dead on the sidewalk outside Southern California's hospital in Culver City the next day. One of her friends, Hilda Marcela Cabrales Arzola, was dropped off at another hospital, Kaiser Permanente in West Los Angeles, 2 hours later and remained in critical condition as of Thursday, People magazine reported. In news statements since her death, Giles' family said that the women left the warehouse party with 3 unidentified men and went to an apartment in West Hollywood. Now, Giles' husband, she was married, Jan Cilliers, told DailyMail.com the apartment was the last location he had seen using a tracking feature for her phone. At the apartment, Giles sent a text message to Cabrales Arzola at 5:30 in the morning saying, "Let's go," alongside a shocked-faced emoji. She apparently, Cabrales Arzola, wrote, "Yes, I'll call an Uber 10 minutes away." Even though the Uber was ordered, the women never got in. Now, this was told to the DailyMail.com. Inside the 60-minute gap, they became incapacitated. Silas told DailyMail.com. It's clear the girls tried to leave, so there's definitely some foul play involved here. So her mother told ABC 7 that the Uber waited an additional 5 more minutes. The girls nor any of the boys in the apartment ever came out to wave off the Uber to address it to ask him to wait. They planned to arrive at an after party in Hollywood Hills, but never showed up. Cilliers also told DailyMail.com. Giles' mother told the son she believes her daughter was drugged and sexually assaulted. My daughter is a military police officer's daughter. My daughter would have fought like hell, from my understanding from speaking to the emergency room doctor and nurse. They did not see any bruises, scratches, or any indication of an altercation. The only way these men would have kept my daughter and held her for over 10 hours would be by giving them drugs, maybe tying them up. So, wow. Now, I'm trying to find a picture of the young lady. She's 24 years old. So, this looks like her Instagram. This is her husband's Instagram here. He has. All right. This is from the Insider. So, he has a video of the IG here. All right. Whatever that music was. So the point with all of this, guys, if you are the point with all of this, ladies and gentlemen, is that if you are out, even with friends, and you're an IG model, you're an actress. Let me say you're an actress, whatever. If you don't know the people that you are with, you don't know the company, you're not meeting in public, it's probably best to avoid being with any of them. This is just in general. White, black, whatever your color is, never talk to strangers. Even if you've done, back in the day, even if you do online dating, always, first and foremost, your date should always be in a public area. Should be in public. Don't go into hotel rooms, no going upstairs. And that's some of the issues that I had with this Me Too thing. Some of these women, knowingly went up to these hotel rooms of these men late at night, knowing they were married, to do auditions. Even with Weinstein talking about, well, I'm going to go audition for a movie, or he's going to talk to me about a part. We're going to do business together. Well, online dating, you still have, I'm talking about Tinder, Gordon, because we still have that. The Tinder app is still around. I'm not talking about like Black Singles Meet or anything like that, but Tinder is still around. If you're going to meet with people, then you meet with people, but you make sure it's in public. You make sure it's somewhere you're comfortable with. Also, ladies, I got to say this, you're going to have to it's also cool if you take some pepper spray with you, or a taser, or even a gun. Get your concealed weapon permit if you got to. But most importantly, if you don't, I understand they're using this as a business. Some of these women don't have a trade. Some of them, they know how to trade their ass. That's the thing, they trade. They don't have a trade. They don't have a profession. Some of them don't have an education. They go on their looks and they make millions from it. I mean, look at the Kardashians. They've made a franchise literally off sex, off just what they look like. Well, apparently the last IG model we were talking about, one who cares, she was with her friends and they got assaulted. So I don't even think that matters. I mean, it matters, but I don't think that's significant enough. Even if you go with your friends, you get a drink, make sure, let me just say this, if somebody offers you a drink, make sure you ask them, You sip it first. Or watch them make the drink. Somebody offers you a drink or someone's offering you something, it's cool to actually watch what they watch them make the drinks. Well, they didn't blew a bag on their body, so that is their profession. They're trying to get a return on that BBL investment, the big butt lift. Oh man, I'm doing fine, baby doll. How are you doing? Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. But yeah, you got to be careful when you go out in these streets, when you're going out in public, meeting with anybody. I mean, even me as an attorney, you know, I have my clients come to my office. I never do business at home. Never have them come to your house, and in no circumstances. Uh, you know, you can do virtual things virtually, meet people online. You want to meet someone, do it virtually. Then you go out with them in public, and after a while, and after a few dates, you get to know that person. Then, okay, maybe so. But this wasn't a dating thing. My understanding, this is just someone, with a couple of them. I don't know all of them, but I know for one, apparently, she got killed. One lady got killed. She let a man into her apartment and he strangled her to death. You got one woman who's going to Ghana from Atlanta to meet with a billionaire. You don't even know these people. And you're going by your, I don't think she was, I don't think she was with anybody. You go by yourself to a foreign country and you end up dead. Now, if there was foul play, if she were murdered, absolutely, they need to find out what happened. But yeah, exactly, Gordon. You got to vet who you're dating. That's why it's called dating. You vet when you're going out, you're dating someone, you find out if this person is for you, if that person is the one I want to be with. If not, then it's not worth it. But this is about business. But this is what happens when you thought it up. This is sadly a consequence to that. But what say you in the chat? That's all yeah, the black female attorney. I remember that happening. Who was the attorney? What was her name? That was killed. Courtney Cox. Now she was not an Instagram model to my knowledge. So I was just talking about IG models, but yeah, this is on Black Enterprise. It says, according to CBS 46, the victim of Courtney Cox was shot on the 21st floor of the high-rise Atlantic House apartment located in Atlanta. It is believed that Jarvis Jarrett is the one to have killed Cox early Wednesday. Police officials said Jarrett died while exchanging gunfire with officers after they responded to the incident, though it is unclear if he shot himself or was killed by law enforcement. So yeah, this is the sister here. Now she's cute. Said the police made it seem like the girl's family was bothering them because they were, I kind of remember something like that. They were talking about them bothering them. Well, fuck, my daughter is dead. My daughter is dead. I want to know what happened. They say there was no forced entry or anything like that. Yeah, look, ladies, you got to be careful who you let in your house. You got to be careful about the men who you sleep with, who you let you around your children. Yeah, that was the story, Boss Queenie. And this is the danger of what happens when you're greedy, when you're trying to get fast money. Sometimes slow money is better than fast money. Yeah, she's dating a freaking simp. And who knows? She probably didn't want to give. He got mad with her because he didn't want to give. She didn't want to give up the draws. That easy? I don't know. But it is unfortunate that that happened. That all of these deaths have happened. It is always tragic when a young, someone, a person that young. In this case, even with the Instagram model, who was 24 years old. I'm sorry that happened. Excuse me. I'm sorry this 32-year-old attorney is dead. I'm sorry about that woman who was strangled to death in Houston. I'm even sorry about the women who apparently were assaulted up in Los Angeles and one of them died. I thought that was unfortunate. And I hope their families get justice. But ladies, if you can avoid it, be careful who you surround yourself with. Always have your gun, your stun gun, a can of mace with you. Be prepared, be vigilant. Don't accept every drink that is offered to you. Just like my parents told me, you go to a party, don't put your drink down. Because you don't know if somebody will spike it or put something in it and it could kill you. Or it could mess you up for life. I had that happen with a cousin of mine. One of my cousins, smart kid, had his head on his shoulders. My older cousin, he hung out with the wrong crowd. They did drugs. They did something to him. He wasn't right ever since. So I'm going to get on ahead and end the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. This was a good talk, good show on this Sunday, the first Sunday of the new year, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have a flyer for you on Tuesday out. If those who are in Lafayette will please be with me January 20th at 8 at the Bear Garden, the open mic on that Thursday. I will be doing a comedy show. I'll be headlining. So you guys get to see me for 20 minutes, tell some jokes, and try and stay alive that night. No, no, we're going to have a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll be fun. Other thing I want to talk about too, ladies and gentlemen, if you could. All right. Thank you, Darius. Thank you, Films. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why she was messing with these guys. Attracted to them. A lot of sisters get attracted to these thugs. That's how it was when I was coming up. They like the bad guy because they think, oh, he's gonna be hard, he's gonna be tough. Oh, I know I'm gonna be great, Black Mom. I wish you could come. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, but they like those thugs, and that was how it was when I was growing up, man. In the meantime, guys, go to NornisCreoleBlends.com. Here, go to the icon you see on the screen with the shopping cart there. You got to click it and order some of your Creole seasoning. Of course, you got to pick up and order some from the shop. Get your bottle of Creole seasoning blends. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nornis goes great with every dish. We are trying to get the seasoning in stores right now as we speak, and it should be available soon. And actually, we'll probably do another seasoning blend for it this year. I'm looking at maybe making a spicier version. Those who have not tried it, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but those who have purchased it, you know how it is. Black Voltron, thank you very much, sir. Go ahead and get you some. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want you to, if you would like to donate to me for the new year, please go to Gavin Richard Esquire. If you would, if you'd like to advertise, this is our email. Our Patreon's right here. join me this Tuesday. I'll do another live stream with you all. Check out in the meantime as well Video Soul, which is on Spotify right now, ladies and gentlemen. That is our latest single, Video Soul. And we also have our theme song, which is Gotta Get On Up. Now, since we have gotten on down, ladies and gentlemen, it is time now for us to get on up. And when you take a critical examination of your music video songs that your G Rich has produced, then you will understand why this is such a groove. Because I took a critical examination of your Get On Up, as I have done every Thursday, and I found it to be prepped with all of that good old soul music that we had in the 1980s. It especially is reminiscent of your Whispers and your Earth, Wind, and Fire. Now, if you want to take a critical examination of your Video Soul or your Gotta Get On Up, then I would go to Spotify, Apple, or the iTunes Store and purchase these songs. That's all I have to say for this live stream. You can comment, like, and subscribe. And have a good night.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, cause on the dance floor is where we'll be. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl. Across the room, and what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Time for the running, when the rhythm takes hold of you. There's only one thing left to do, cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving, gotta get on up and move your body, cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Tell the DJ play the Whispers, rock steady in the mood. Put on Earth, Wind, and Fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop. Really up to you. Let's start the time. Start. Full of broken heart. The rhythm. Takes hold of you. There's only one thing left to do, cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body, cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Now, 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the floor, baby. Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up, baby. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.